Hi, my name is Emma, and I'm going to be going over why we're using a LunaSat. So, why is it important to send a LunaSat to the moon? There are three main categories when we talk about the importance of the LunaSat. The first is a technology demonstration. We are trying to develop the next generation of space exploration methods making use of more accessible technology. Next, we want to talk about scientific discovery. So, we want to better our understanding of the moon, universe, and potentially set up different scientific explorations for the future. The next is STEM engagement. So, engaging and inspiring the next generation of space explorers. So, the dispersed and redundant nature of observations will help the entire scientific community to better understand space and potentially design better lunar landers, spacecraft, and other research and exploration devices. So, let's talk about our technology demonstration. We are using a miniaturized version of electronics that has an enabled various sensor platform. So we've seen this before in a single board computers using low cost microcontrollers and radio transceivers that have been in low Earth orbit before. However, GLEE will be one of the first demonstrations of this strategy for lunar exploration. The ChipSat out of Cornell University has a similar form factor and it went up into low Earth orbit. So, the data that the LunaSats collect and return to Earth will be available for anyone to access and analyze internationally. So, scientists and space enthusiasts will be able to collaboratively develop and test more experiments in the future. So, next, let's get into the science. So, we are able to do both planetary science and spaceflight science with the LunaSats. So, the planetary science is investigating the actual lunar environment and regolith. So, that's more of like the hard data that's coming from the LunaSats. And then we can also do spaceflight science. So, how well does the LunaSat perform when it's on the lunar surface? How well does it transport? Also, we can incorporate the LunaSats into the Artemis mission. So we can demonstrate different environmental monitoring capabilities, which can increase assurance of crew safety and provide valuable observations for planetary science in the future. So, by conducting surveys of frequency and amplitude of micrometeorite impacts over particular areas, and actively monitoring for micrometeorite events during manned missions, a network of LunaSats could help keep astronauts safer. And planetary science is being able to correlate radiation dosages over time with magnetic field strength across lunar swirls. So, and now we'll get into our STEM engagement. So, space hardware can be really expensive and not that accessible for students and space enthusiasts. GLEE wants to provide the opportunity to as many students as possible to get hands on experience with technology that is capable of going to space. Our mission for our method of accomplishing that is through both our in person workshop that we've already hosted and then obviously our remote workshop, which we are doing right now. So, just a quick overview of the measurements that our LunaSat can take. We can do the temperature of the lunar surface, the temperature of the LunaSat, magnetic field strength, acceleration, and then the capacitance of the regolith. So, all of these can be used to develop your very own unique mission once you complete all of our modules. So, just in summary, sending a LunaSat to the moon will provide more information on the moon in general and make planetary science accessible to citizens, scientists, students, and enthusiasts, as well as demonstrating the effectiveness of a new method of science data collection. So, with that, we'll go on to next steps. Thank you.